Welcome to another episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill-Staxx, and today we got someone by the name of Jerome Jeter. Don't just dream your dreams, live your dreams. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And make sure you go check out Bugsy's new single, Evacuate.
This is Global Link. You have a prepaid call from
Jerome.
an inmate at the RJ Correctional Facility, San Diego, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Link.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good, man. So I told the people a background on who you are, and if you want to get into your story and explain how things went down, take it from here, man.
All right. First off, I got in the game when I was 12. So I was fairly young. My family, a couple of founders of a couple of gangs in Compton. Born and raised in the city of Compton, California. Grew up in the areas, a lot of violence, drug dealing. So based off my family's reputation and what I was born into, I got involved in it. It became one of the founding members of a group, Baby Get Husband, which was original gang is the neighborhood Compton Quick Riders. So in doing so, I got mixed up in drugs and all sort of other stuff. So fast forward to what brought me to prison is that I went to drop some drugs off in Bakersfield, California, because I was into trafficking drugs,
Yeah.
murder, gang activity, and all that stuff. And dudes robbed me, or attempted to. And I've been shot before, so at that time when they pulled the gun, it was more or less like, hey, what you gonna do with that? So
Yeah.
they shot me 4 times. I told them, you better kill me. They didn't get the dope. They got the car keys. They didn't kill me. So one day, I happened to see one of these sisters. I went back out there again to take some dope to another city out there. I passed the Bakersfield.
And this was after you got shot already?
Yeah, I've been shot a total of 11 times.
What? Wow.
My first time getting shot, I was 15. I was shot 7. And when this case happened, I just turned 18. They shot me 4 more times. When I turned 18 on October 1st, this case happened. They shot me in March. So after they shot me, I let them know, like, hey, you playing the game, you don't want to play. So if you don't kill me, I'm coming back. They ran off and laughed and whatever. So fast forward to roughly a month later, which would have been in April, I happened to be out there dropping some dope off again to a couple of the G homies.
Yeah.
And I was leaving from that transaction with them. I happened to have a 357 Ruger and a Mac 11 hitting the floorboard of my SS.
Yeah.
So I happened to see a bunch of people crossing the street. And when I seen them crossing the street, I seen one of the dudes that had actually shot me. So there's some stores out there called Gas and Save that's similar to 7-Eleven to A&P.
Yeah. Yeah.
I made a U-turn and came back into the parking lot. And I seen a family member of mine that happens to be a blood out of Compton.
Yeah.
So I started talking to him, and he walked in the store before me. I'm talking to him. I noticed that one of the dudes that shot me was on the payphone right next to the door. So he looked at me and gave me a little smirk, and I shot him in the face. So everybody started trying to run. I called the others.
So did the first guy that you shot, did you kill him?
Yes, I shot him right on the bridge, his nose under his eye.
Yeah.
So they said he died instantly.
Yeah.
The other one, he tried to run. I chased him down and shot him in the chest and in the face. And the same thing happened with the other one. So in saying this is that, I don't believe that my actions were wrong at that juncture in my life because of what I was caught up in.
Yeah.
I never told on no one, didn't expect them to tell on me. So this little beef went back and forth with them and my homies and their family members and my family members. So, quite a few people got shot, quite a few people. Well, on my side, no one ever died. Hey, side got hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
So, I guess they got tired of like, hey, this dude one of their cousins happened to be from my neighborhood. And he told him, man, this dude is hooked up. So, 6 you out, he's deeply embedded. So, y'all don't kill him. This is not going to stop until he gets fired.
Yeah.
So, they told on me.
So after you shot these guys, did you take off and did you get caught right away, or were you on the run?
I was on the run for like till August of that year. So from April to August, I was on the run.
And they were looking for you heavy, right?
Yeah, you had the LA Gang Suppression Unit, the Federal Gang Task Force, State Suppression Units, and Compton Suppression Unit. There's a bunch of law enforcement agencies looking for me. I got a page from a female that I knew and said, hey, do you know they had you on California's Most Wanted? I'm like, for what? I played dumb.
Yeah.
You know, like, for what? She said, for multiple murders and multiple attempted murders. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So then that's when I got the hell up out of California because I knew then. I went to Colorado and came back to California for the 4th of July weekend and ended up staying for a couple of weeks. Got into a shootout with some security guards at an apartment complex behind one of my cousins.
How did that transpire, the shootout?
I guess they was there before I got there. When I pulled up, security was telling them, hey, you don't live here, you gotta leave, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And I told the security, like, hey man, you need to back up. You know, you all my cousin's face like you top cop.
Yeah.
So he put his hand on his gun and I told him that's not something you want to do. He like, made the cop like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
I started walking off, going to my car to get my other pistol. By the time I got the other pistol, it was 2 of them, so I just started shooting.
Oh man.
This is who I think I am. So long story short, I got a gun conviction for that as well. They dropped the shoot because no one did. They could never prove actually what I the one shooting at them.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
They said that the shooter was behind the van, but they believed it was me.
Yeah.
So now I've been here for nearly 30 years. Today, it's just I get what I did and my reparations to society and what I need to pay back. However, I was an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
When this happened to me, when they shot me, it was fair game because I wouldn't tell. I wouldn't tell them who shot me. So
yes. So those people, the people that shot you, they never got caught or anything?
No, I wouldn't tell. I wouldn't say who did it.
Yeah. So if you don't tell, then they won't get charged with it. The state won't pick it up.
Yeah. The state wouldn't pick it up because they were saying that, hey, I was the only witness to it, and the other witnesses were they homeboys and they friends. Since I wouldn't say nothing, they friends wasn't gonna tell on them. So
yeah.
I wasn't gonna tell them because I wanted them dead. I was like, you shot me.
Yeah.
You killed me. So in saying that, like I said, I get that I gotta pay my debt to society. However, you're gonna keep a kid in here for 30 years. I've been in here for nearly 30 straight years. And throughout my incarceration, don't get me wrong, I'm no saint.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of violence in here as well. When you send me to Pelican Bay and Folsom and Tallahassee and places like that in Calipatria,
yeah.
maximum level force we got in the state. I don't know if you think I'm not gonna pick up a knife, but I went to the yard, picked up a knife.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do when you're in there, and there's killers around you, and these people aren't trying to better themselves,
Exactly. That's what the situation I was placed in as a young kid. So you start me off at Calipatria State Prison, which was one of the most violent in California in the 90s.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I'm not sure what position the state thought I was going to take, but at that time I still had a lot of anger and rage and be like, I don't think I should be in prison.
Yeah.
I played by the rules. I didn't tell. I didn't do nothing. Why am I sitting here?
Yeah.
So everything that transpired from my life from that point on all the way into my mid-30s, I took it out on whoever was around me. I didn't care who you was. I got assaults on inmates. I got assaults on COs in here, the staff, on whoever. If you crossed me, I made you pay for it. But now that I done matured a little more, I'm a father of 4, married with a granddaughter that's 5. I kind of look back at it like, I was kind of selfish at times, and I portrayed my violence violence on people that I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
And I get that at this juncture in my life. But at the same time, the state bears responsibility as well because they created this monster.
Yeah.
You know, it took a lot for me to learn to stop blaming other people for my problems. And like, hey, okay, this dude don't, you know, like the cops are, so they just doing this job.
Yeah.
I might not agree with it, but you get heavy-handed with me, I don't know what you expect me to do.
Yeah.
You know, let you get heavy-handed with me now, I'm not your partner. So I had that chip on my shoulder about that. Now I just kind of look at people and like smirk and like, yeah, okay, you know, because I don't want to become that person again.
Yeah.
I don't want my kids to see that. You know, I don't want my grandbaby to see that. I'm tired of my wife and my family having to come see me behind a glass window because I'm sitting at the shoe.
So did you use all your appeals? Do you have any more appeals left?
No, I don't have no appeals left because I was originally looking at the death penalty.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting life without parole because of the multiple murders. And the actual charge was multiple murders to advance street gang activity and criminal activity.
Yeah.
So multiple murders and the gang activity was the enhancement that got me the life without parole actually.
Yeah, but they were seeking the death penalty.
Yes, originally, yes. They blew that in the first trial, so the head DA told them to take the death penalty off the table because they're not going to convict me. You know, because they felt, a lot of the jurors felt, hey, this is gang related stuff. Gang members came at him, he went at them.
Yeah.
You know, which I thought were the rules, but you know, in hindsight, it's always 2020. Now I see that, hey, I played a game that a lot of people ain't built to play, and I played it by the way I was taught to play it.
Yeah. So now what? Yeah. What would you say to a kid that's in the same situation that you were in? What would you say to them now, being where you're at? What would you say to the kid that's stuck in the same situation you were in?
Don't take the route I took. You know, I get it that you want to play tough, or you don't want your homies to look at you differently, or like, oh, he a rat or he a snitch. If they looking at you like that, or they portray to be your friend, they're not gonna look at you that way. Because the only thing that's gonna happen to you, and you probably heard it, every kid probably heard it, you're gonna be dead or in here with life without parole. You know, and that's you just sitting here withering away. You know, because once you get this sentence, the state has deemed me irredeemable. So no matter what I do, it's like, hey, you're a constant problem, you're throwing it on side. We're not letting you out of here. You know, and like I say, like you just asked that question, I am a youth mentor. I took youth mentoring classes, I took anger management classes, alternative violence classes, I took domestic violence, and I don't even have domestic violence. I wanted to learn how to deal with my issues, the demons I was dealing with, and I was struggling with.
Yeah.
Like I said, I never had no addictions to drugs or anything like that. My thing was money, and you respected me. If you respected me, I left you alone. If you disrespected me, I took it to the extreme.
Yeah.
Disrespect, you could have bumped into me in the morning, I probably would have pulled a gun out and smacked you upside the head with it. You know, and that's how I built my reputation on the sheer violence and having money.
Yeah.
It's not what people think. It's not what people think. It's not cracked up to be what everybody looks at it. But one thing I can say about me, however, as an individual, anyone can check my record, I've never done anything to someone that wasn't caught up in that lifestyle, even though that doesn't take away from my actions. I'm not trying to diminish it or anything. I'm accept total culpability. I'm totally responsible for my actions. I made a decision. You know, do I regret it? In some sense, yes. Yeah. But can I say that I regret it totally 100%? No. Because that's the way I was raised and that's what I was taught.
If you could talk, or if the family of the victims are listening, what would you say to them?
I'm sorry for the pain that I caused them. I'm sorry for whatever I put them through. You know, if I could take it back, I would. Now that I'm at the age I am now. But if you would have asked me this question 10, 15 years ago, I'd have said, man, hey, you know, that's part of the rules, you know, because they knew what they was into. You know, it was fun. Like I said, I don't know if I mentioned this, when I was in court, their family was saying that's what he did. That's why they shot him. Why he was telling them. You know, and so that's still another slap in the face. Like, wait, hold up. It was cool when they shot me and I was laying on the ground bleeding. Yeah. I told them they should have killed me. So if they wanted to stay alive, that's what they should have did.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Wow, man. I want to thank you for coming on my show, man. I appreciate you. And if you want to call back, you can. Yeah, man. I could ask you some more questions, and I can ask you like what you've been through since you've been in there and all that if you want.
Well, that's up to you. That's up to you.
Yeah, yeah. You could call back if you want.
Oh, well, I'll call you right back.
Okay. All right, bye. So he's gonna call back and tell us more of the story, tell us some of the things he's been through since he's been in prison. So stay tuned for this. Chatting with Staxx. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And this is a real good one, man. This guy, he's in prison. There he is. So
Global Link, you have a prepaid call from
Jerome.
an inmate at the R.J. Donovan Correctional Facility, San Diego, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Link.
hey, what's up, man? So since you've been in prison, since you were a young man, what's some of the things that stand out in your mind since you've been there, like whether it's riots breaking out or the guards being mistreating you or anything like that? Is there anything that really stands out in your mind?
Well, for me personally, I've been through all of what you just mentioned. But the worst I've ever seen, to me, that kind of like made me like, wait, this is crazy. Was while at Tallahassee, it's called, well, it's not Tallahassee, it's in the city of Tallahassee. It's a prison called California Correctional Institution for Men. And it's a yard named 4B, which is one of our max yards. It's the child hall was made into like a straight shot. It's a gunner above your head when you walk in that you can't see, and it's a gunner in front of you that you can see.
Yeah.
Two dudes start fighting approximately 20 feet away from me. There's a kid sitting there eating his food. They got nothing to do with the fight. They instead of them firing a rubber bullet or tear gas or whatever, they fired a live round. The kid gets hit in the back of the head. He's not even the one fighting. So his brains is all over the dude next to him. And this dude is hollering and they screaming at this dude, get the fuck down, get down now. You know, like, wait, hold up, where's the compassion in that? Where's the human decency in that? You know, and it's like, I get that these people have a job to do, man. You know.
Yeah.
However, some of the shit they do in California is you won't believe it. If you would have to see it to believe it. It's like me personally, you know, I had an officer make a comment to me in 2004. I'll never forget it. It's October the 12th, I believe, 2004, either 13th. It was the 12th or the 13th.
Yeah.
So my birthday is on the 1st, and I remember it was approximately 2 weeks after my birthday.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I'm like, what you saying? And he said, keep walking. I said, nah, what did you say? He said, you heard me, keep walking. So when I turned around and got on him, they jumped on me while I was handcuffed. Like, wait, hold up. I gave this man a chance to walk this back. You know, you just called me a bitch.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not your bitch. You know, and that's when I said to myself, I did, on that shoe term, I did almost 7 years in the shoe. And I said to myself, I can't keep doing this shit. You know, I'm getting old. You know, the system ain't changing, so I have to make a change for myself.
Yeah.
You know, that's when I started going to certain teachers, you know, that I seen on the yard, certain cops that was cool, because all of them ain't bad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not one of the ones that's going to say they bad in its totality, because they're not. You have some decent people that have a badge, and then you have these people that counselors and teachers. You have some that's not. They're here for a paycheck. But either way it goes, it doesn't bother me, because they made a choice to take care of their family one way. I made a choice to take care of mine another way.
Yeah.
That way led me to prison. However, when you take an oath to do something, I expect you to do it. I took an oath to play by the rules in this game, and I did it. You know, now that I'm not as deep or caught up in it as I once was, I don't even get involved in it anymore. I can see where all my wrongs were at.
Yeah.
You know, and so, in doing so, I started taking classes, like I mentioned earlier, on anger management, because I was mad at the world. You know, when actually the world did nothing to me, I made a choice.
Yeah, it shows a lot of growth that you are taking the steps to do the right thing now, you know, because there's plenty of people that are in your situation that are like, fuck it, man, and they just throw their hands up.
Yeah, and what's sad about it is that I don't know the statistics, but I've seen a little dude come in. I talked to him probably like, this was when we was at Calipatch on BR. We had just had a big old ride, like a 300-man ride. The kid had just got sent to life. He was stressed out. I'm telling him, like, bro, it's not that bad. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. So they got us on lockdown. We handcuffed, walk to the shower. You only shower by yourself. They're making sure that different races don't mix because they know it's going to keep going on if we mix with each other.
Yeah.
The little kid killed himself that night. And I'm like, he's 20 years old, just took his life. And me personally, that's something I would never do. I don't, at this juncture, the way I was raised and taught up and mentally how I function, I don't think life ever gets that bad.
Yeah.
However, I can't say nothing for the people that do it because I don't know what position they're in. I don't understand their mental tenacity or their capacity. I have no look into it. So I feel sorry for them. I'm empathetic and I'm sympathetic for their family and, the loss like this dude just, if he felt it was that bad to wait to his own life.
Have you seen that happen a lot since you've been in prison? People taking their own life?
Me personally, I've been on yards or either buildings where I've seen about 7 of them. But I've heard about a few hundred of them.
Wow.
It's like a common thing when these dudes get these sentences because, like I said, I was 18 when it happened to me.
Yeah.
If the kids nowadays, I would hate to see it because I grew up fighting and, being violent and stuff. Some of these kids don't grow up like that. They just actually make a severe mistake, playing with their buddies or whatever, trying to look tough, pick up a gun and hit somebody or shoot somebody. And they don't realize the ramifications of their actions and don't understand it in its totality. And they end up in prison with a life sentence when it actually was a total accident.
Yeah.
Whereas with me, it was intentional. It wasn't an accident. So don't get me wrong. I kind of understand why I'm in the situation I'm in. I kind of understand how I do. However, I just feel that it's kind of like a smack in the face for the state to say that anyone is irredeemable. I thought that's what the penological system was about.
Yeah. It's about corrections. It's supposed to be about correction,
Exactly. Rehabilitation, you don't even put dogs and big cats in zoos like this.
Yeah.
It's animals that get treated better than us throughout the United States and throughout the world, to say the least.
Have you ever seen the guards that are like starving people and not feeding them?
Well, me personally, I've experienced that myself. Because one thing about California, if you assault a guard, when you go to the hole, they're going to beat your ass.
Yeah.
Period, bottom line. Now they say they're not doing it no more. I don't know, because like I said, my last run-in with them was in 2004. They fucked me up, broke my ribs. I had cuts on my wrist and in my ankles from the handcuffs and the shackles. They didn't actually deny me the food. They brought the tray to the door, told me to step back while they opened the door, and poured a cup of something in it. Whatever it was, I'm like, I'm not going to eat this. I don't know what was in that cup.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was piss.
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming. So I'm like, man, I just kicked the tray back off the door. Like, man, get this shit away from me. And they did that to me for like a week straight.
Wow.
So the only thing that I wasn't able to eat was like the lunch that they gave us because it comes sealed and the milk.
Yeah.
So I'm in there a week straight eating bread, water, and milk.
Wow, man.
Because I don't eat the lunch meat they give us. I don't eat it. So it's like, I was literally starving.
Yeah.
There was a couple of dudes back there, like some of the Mexicans, Radios, and other Crips and Bloods. I moved to the yard.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
A couple of the officers that wasn't with that shit that I knew from different prisons that be going there, they would let them mail out in the past me like some chips and cookies and stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
They give me that look like, I know it's fucked up what you're going through, but I'm not going to cross that line and go with this fucked up officer.
Yeah, because then they'll have to deal with the ramifications of that,
Exactly. And I totally understand it coming from that gang lifestyle because if one of mine crossed me, I know what he'll be up to.
Yeah.
So when you put my lifestyle in a full circle, I get what everybody goes through. I understand why people act there they act. Because we as humans have this tendency to mock the people that we're around instead of being the one that stands out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a herd mentality. It's like a herd mentality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It took a down with a professor at St. Ellen that was one of our teachers. And I used to talk to her every day. And she's like, I didn't see you have 2 fights in 1 week. What are you doing? You know, I'm like, dude said somebody like. So, you know, she used to be on me, and that's what she the one that first talked with me to get my GED. My wife got on me about it, so she kept talking to me. So I went and did that. And that was the beginning of my actual change.
Yeah.
We started a few years before that because I was kind of getting tired of all the old bullshit. But like I told you, when the squad come and interview me and talk to me about stuff that happened, I'm never going to tell on nobody. I don't care what happened. I'm not telling on nobody. It's none of my business.
Yeah.
So as far as that goes, that's a page I would never take. But me trying to give back, I give back. I'm willing to tell these kids my story. I'm willing to tell them my background, where I came from, what I was about growing up, and where I'm at this juncture in my life.
Yeah.
You know, and hopefully I can make some sort of change.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
You know, I feel like this. If I could get one kid not to pick up a gun and not to join a gang, then I did my job.
Yeah, that's why I do this show. I do this show so that I could let kids avoid going to prison or have to deal with a life sentence, so they could hear your story. Maybe they could relate to it a little bit. And I think that I think that you being in a gang, even you being in a gang now, you can be a good role model for kids out there because they're looking up to someone like you, you know?
Yeah, because like I tell people, I never denounced it. I never walked away. I just left it alone. I was just like, you know what? It's time to stop doing this stuff and look for better stuff to do. And I'm, you know, like a lot of us still have a lot of influence with kids we see coming in here, some of these youngsters, and they know who you are from the streets, or they heard about you, or your brother was on a yard with you. They know, oh, you moved to him. Like, yeah, what's up with you, man?
Yeah.
You know, I take them, walk laps with them, walk a few miles with them, talk to them, and make sure they in the right state of mind and they're not where I was at. You know, because I know how bad that can be. That can be totally detrimental and harmful. You know, so
Yeah.
that's my reason for making my change.
When you started changing your life, did the gang give you a hard time about that? Were they trying to suck you into all the drama? How did that work?
I mean, you know, like I said, I was pretty far up the food chain, and I had a seat at the table, but it was a few that made comments, and that, you know, I had like 2 incidents, and the rest of them seemed like, okay, even if you mess with him in this, he's still going to react the same way. He's not going to run. He's not going to cower.
Yeah.
You know, they seem like, okay, you know what? And then for the majority, though, like as far as the 60 squatters, we're maybe 60 to 80 of us on the yard, and out of that 80, probably only 3 have a problem with it. With other 77, like, man, you put in all that work, you did this, you never bitched out, you never told, you had more blessings. You know, and then, you know, like, hey, I wouldn't care if I didn't have your blessings.
Yeah.
I got to be a man before I'm anything, you know. And the same thing that's been in me for decades, it's not gold. It's just that I choose not to display it no more. I choose to try to be the better person, you know. And then, you know, and that's what I hope these kids can get and try to understand that this is a bad game to play. It's bad. And it got worse since I've been in here, you know.
At least you're around like-minded people that understand what the message you're trying to project, you know?
Oh, yes, without a doubt. Because, you know, I don't know if you know about these program facilities they got in California. This yard is actually, like, I'm general population.
Yeah.
We have our own yards, a main line. We don't mingle with the dudes that have protected custody needs. Like right now, there's cops around me that's killed people or did whatever they did. Now they're in here with me, prisoners, judges around me, lawyers, people that I was brought up talk to despise. And I speak to them every day, say they in. When I cook burritos, I go for food. You know, it's like, hey, man, you're a human just like me, you know.
Yeah.
So I give them that respect. I may not agree with what they did when I was growing up, but now I realize that, hey, you know, they're human just like me. They make the same mistakes. I mean, he may have had a badge for LA Sheriff when he was on the streets. Now he's the same color I wear. He's no different than me, you know.
Yeah. We got about 1.5 minutes left. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we go?
My lovely wife, Alicia Jeter, and my kids.
Yeah, man. And I want to thank you for coming on the show. I commend you for displaying the courage to change, because I know it's not easy, man.
No, it's not, but you got to have the heart to do it. I
Yeah.
thank you, man, for sharing our stories, and hopefully you can make some change in the kids and the society in general.
Definitely, man. I'll do what I can. You know, anything I can do to help, I'll do it. Definitely.
I appreciate you. You stay blessed, bro.
Yeah, man. You too, man. I appreciate you, and I'll definitely get this out for the people. And if there's anyone else, man, Bugsy, I want to give a shout out to Bugsy for making this possible. And you got 60 seconds left, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you very much. Thank you for getting our story out there and helping us with this movement. I appreciate you, bro.
No problem, man. I'll get this out as soon as possible. And thank you, man. And keep your head up. If you got God on your side, you always got a chance, man.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you, bro.
No problem, man. I'll speak to you soon.
All right, you have a good one.
You too, man. So you heard it there first, folks. That was Jerome Jeter. He's in prison for double homicide. He has life without parole. They tried to give him the death penalty. And I'm just trying to bring you these stories so that kids, maybe there's a kid out there that could change his mind about the things he's doing. And I hope you enjoyed this interview. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And I'm going to have a lot more for you guys, man. Stay tuned. Chatting with Staxx, baby.